In my years of collecting things made in other countries, I've seen a lot of odd and funny English translations. I've seen them on ads, product packaging, and in instruction manuals. Some of these translations are amusing, some bad, some incomprehensible, and some really, really funny. Your best companion, anytime and anywhere. Your best companion. You see this a lot. Now, this sort of thing might be just an odd translation, or it might be a little more cultural, like maybe in the culture in which this originates, you really can have an inanimate companion. Or here, your lovely mascot, whatever that means. And here there's my dear lovely friend. While I may see this kind of talk as strange, I have to admit that we say and do way weirder things than this in my so-called culture. So, admitting that, I think I can allow myself to be amused by this without being labeled a racist for my mirth. Different languages are structured differently, obviously, so word-for-word translations are always going to be clumsy and funny for that reason. Then there are differences in grammar and use of idioms, and, of course, the cultural differences. Fascination of pocket music. Well, definitely. Oh, there are lots of excuses for bad and or funny translations, but only one real reason. Somebody tried to save a buck, or a yen, or a kopeck, or some kind of money when they should have hired a competent translator. I imagine these kinds of translations are the result of a cheap manager at a company asking around if any of the employees knew any English, and then pressing one of them into doing the translation because that employee had had a few semesters of English back in high school. I took my 3 semesters of Spanish to Spain some time back, and it got me nothing but laughed at. Here's Magic Float from around 1960. This, I gather, is a sort of fishing bobber that lights up when you've caught something. It says, "Your fish pleases you by light up." Huh? Your game just tells you its catch by beautiful flash. Oh, yeah. I couldn't have said it better. It's the smaller firms that seem to put out the best of these funny translations. But even Toshiba made many ads as flowery and as small-time looking as those produced by their tiny competitors. At the time, Toshiba was already a giant outfit, making all manner of things, as you see here, up to and including locomotives and nuclear equipment. Yet they could wax rhapsodic about one of their radios being your favorite companion. That old chestnut. They go on to say that even the paddy bird will stop singing when lured by the sweet melody from the radio in your hand. Gracefully comes the whisper of Milos, as sweet as the odor of wreath, whose beauty never surpass the beauty of the graceful Milos. These words of wisdom from the Sensai Trading Company of Tokyo in 1958. Novel Dempa contorts their first name, Novel, into a hymn of praise to their newest radio, which you will notice is not an it, but a she. Now does she make her debut on the stage of world market. Virtuosa in radiodom she will be. Everybody will she charm, long, long hereafter. What's left to say but amen? Any time, any place, your boon companion. This one cracks me up. Boon must have come right out of an English thesaurus, with no real idea of how the word is used. But technically, yes, boon is defined as a thing that is helpful or a blessing. And again, amen. It's the 1959 Toyopet. Toyopet. From Toyota. Not the logo we're familiar with, but it's the Toyota we're familiar with. Quoting now, Japan's coast-to-coast drive enchants even the trotters. They're as well satisfied with smooth riding of Toyopet Crown Deluxe. In Japan, 43% of passenger cars are made by Toyota, the Orient's largest automobile manufacturer. This car is the cult of American motorists, too. Powerful 60-horsepower engine, ball-joint type front axle suspension, and overdrive mounted. End quote. Keep in mind that these people we are snickering at today regularly top the list of most popular car brands in the entire world. Truer words have never been spoken in any language than good tone make you up, good mood. This is simply undeniable. Words to live by. Now, here is New Eagle proudly advancing into world market with lovely melody. And over here, LED, or lead, LED, super home radio which offers best excellent for appreciation of music, and best fit for admiration in sitting room. Yes, I'm quite certain that both of these are absolutely true. Ashita Vox earphones offer you, quote, superior technique and highest quality. You can depend upon Ashita Vox brand. Why? Ashita Vox is the name for the best in solidity, sensitivity, and easiness of use. Now, don't think I sit here as some arrogant American smart-aleck, pointing out the folly of foreigners. I am neither a xenophobe nor one of those American exceptionalist bigots. I know that Americans are foreigners, too, in every other part of the world, and I have no doubt that Americans have made and probably continue to make similarly goofy translations seen in other parts of the world, even though my ignorance of other languages and cultures would prevent me from seeing or understanding it. If some of my multilingual viewers have examples of that, I'd love for you to share them with us. Please contribute to this conversation in the comments section below. This Max Tone electronic drums ad appeared in 1985, and it's a gem. From the first glance, the goofy graphic art won me over. Who put this out, I wondered? And down to the bottom, I see it's Taffinglong. Taffinglong! You can't make this stuff up. Oh, this is going to be great, I thought, and the text did not disappoint. Please kindly review the new creation and invention, absolutely not imitation, of Taffinglong. With sweet sound, they can be not only for professional drummers playing, but also for practical use by using the headphone to adjust the volume. Of special material on the drumhead, they can prevent the hands from soreness even after long time playing. Meanwhile, they also provide charming sound, attractive looking, various purposes, and small dimension to bring easily. Okay, after that, even new type number 31 seemed funny to me. Fitting with 60-watt amplifier to play a wonderful sound. Oh, yes, definitely. Goofy translations exist out in the world, too, especially on signs. Now, here recently, I got it into my head that I wanted to buy some of that old classic aftershave lotion called Old Spice. and to my surprise I found it at my local drugstore. But it didn't smell the same as I remembered it. They claim it does, and joke that if your grandfather hadn't worn it, you wouldn't exist. Ha ha ha. That's pretty funny, I had to admit. But still, it wasn't the same scent. It had been reformulated, and no doubt cheapened down with inferior ingredients. The list of what's in it, as you see here, reads like the contents of a chemistry set, remembering that there had always been copies of Old Spice out there by Avon and others. I wondered if there might be a copy being made currently that was more like the original even than the so-called original I found at the drugstore. I learned that there was such a version of it being made currently in India and using the brand name Old Spice, and so I bought a bottle online from India and, as a bonus, discovered one of the very best amusing translations I've seen on a new product in years. Old Spice Aftershave Lotion, original, for gentlemen with exceptional taste in scents, rugs, and TV shows. This Old Spice aftershave is based on deep human knowledge, gathered over centuries of human excavation, space-age exploration, sporting excellence, and the odd kung fu fight, which you can now gently transfer onto yourself with a splash here and a slap there.